So here's what we're looking at. We've got a set of bolts down here. We got some bolts going around the edge, all the way around. So we're basically just going to remove all those bolts, and I'm going to pull this right up and out. Hopefully with no problems. I don't see anything else that's connected to it, so this should be it. We should finally have this oil cooler out. I got a couple of little washers and stuff I'm finding in here. Alright, I'm hoping for a bunch of 10s. And looks like I'm getting my dreams. I'm going to go around and break all of them loose. They're all class 10.9 bolts too. Well, they weren't kidding. They wanted this thing down and held. Makes me think I'm going to have oil leak out from underneath it. Engineer usually doesn't go through this much trouble to clamp something down unless there's a good possibility of leakage. Now if you're asking yourself, well, why on earth did he go around breaking them all loose instead of just taking them all the way out? Well, there's a good reason for that. See, this is all cast aluminum. It's a big chunk of aluminum here, okay? Now, aluminum is not a super strong metal. It's not a very, how do I put that? It's not a hugely stable metal, as in it's easily deformed. And because of that, I don't want to take the chance of warping the bottom structure of this. So I break everything loose just a bit. And then I go through and I take everything out all together. Now I am 99% certain, like I said, that I'm going to have some oil leakage out of this. So what I'm going to do is just kind of set my thing over here. And I'm going to lift this and set it up on top of this. And hopefully my old towel here will catch pretty much everything coming out. We shall see in a second. Oh, no. That didn't work. Bloop. I had oil all over. Let's get this down here. Alright, I'll leave the rags in the back of the valley. Let's see if I can't lift this up and out. Ew. Alright. Now, I hate brittle plastic. Why does everybody use plastic for these things? Let's see if I can get this up and out of the truck without dripping too much oil over everything. A big old reservoir of oil there. Gotta be some way of draining that. I have a fluid transfer pump somewhere and I can't find it. So I guess what we're gonna do is do this a little old school. I have just a paint can lid. You get off a spray can, and I have an old container that's been chewed up by the dog. And it looks like I'm just gonna scoop this on out. Looks like I already have a stainless screen on here too. That's nice. I bought one just in case. Alright. So this will all get recycled, and now I'm going to grab a... Actually, I'll probably just use the rags I've got right here. They're fairly clean, and I'll see if I can mop up as much of that oil that's in there as I can. Clean all around the outer area. I want to make sure I've got a nice clean surface for the O-ring and all. So let's get this out of the way. And because of how much oil is probably going to be needed to refill this, I don't want the truck to actually fire up the first time I go to fire it up. I want to give it a little time to build up oil pressure. But then again, I can't pump any, or it won't fire the injectors until I've got 500 pounds of pressure in a high pressure pump. But I don't know that this system runs in the same circuit or not. I might still just go ahead and disconnect the FICM and just see if I can get it to spin over a bit and build up some oil pressure. Alright. And once I've got the worst of this, then I want to go ahead and go get some clean paper towels. Notice I haven't moved that screen yet. Very easy reason to tell for that, because if anything falls in, I don't want it to fall through that screen. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do when I pull this rag here out is I want to try to bring it out and around without going back over that spot in case anything loose comes out. Alright. Some dirty, oily rags. So, here's my, I'm going to go ahead and replace that while I'm in here. Let me go grab some paper towels, and just mop things up without trying to leave a bunch of lint. The decking all looks pretty good. I am going to replace that screen. I've got a new one, why wouldn't I put it in? Just one of those deals. And I think I do want to go ahead and get the new oil core in and get this down into place. I don't want to leave this open like this. Leave this open for as short a time as possible. I probably could just clean the screen and reuse it, but again, why?